All right, so we are taking a look at Versus Snake, and I'm joined by pizzart. Let's get the game going here. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
All
It's
right.
almost midnight here.
Oh gosh, yeah, with the time delay. Yeah, thank you for joining me. Can you talk a little bit about your background in game development and your role on this project?
Oh, I've been making games actively for game jams like for 3 years now, over 3 years. I started with Ludum Dare 46, I think. Uh, Before that, I kind of used Unity for a while, like not seriously making games. Then I found Godot and I fell in love with it, and I've been making games for jams since.
Nice. And is there anything about Godot in particular that appeals to you? Is it just the ease of use?
Yeah, I think that's actually it. Like the scripting is really simple. The node system is also like it just clicks with me.
Mm-hmm. The node system, you mean? Like, is it a visual programming thing?
No, no, I mean it's a way of arranging game objects in Godot.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, sorry, I haven't used Godot myself, so um,
Ah, okay.
is it at all like the component system in Unity, or is it different from that?
Yes, sort of like that. I haven't used Unity in a really long time, so I don't really remember. But I think that's it.
Okay. Oh, okay. Interesting. I'm not sure exactly what I did wrong the first time. Maybe I just dropped the apple and I wasn't supposed to. Oh, okay, hang on. So snake's coming for me. We can get up on a higher ledge to avoid it. Very spooky.
It's
It's
my first time making a horror game.
it is
Yeah.
funny how effective horror you can get from just a very simple red shape.
Yeah, actually. This game was inspired by the Nokia Snakes game for
Right.
like the Nokia N72 for like the Symbian. It's very obscure, but the snake model's like very close to that in that game.
Oh, okay. There we go. That's the left click. That's what the mouse interaction was meant to be for. Is you pick up the apple and throw it down to the snake.
Yeah.
So you kind of just
So
answered my first question there. Is the inspiration for this was the Nokia Snake game, but then um, was there anything else? Like, what gave you the idea of you are a player sort of in the Snake's world?
I don't really know. We were so it was a group of four people
Mm-hmm.
coming up with ideas, and the musician actually like came up with this idea, like the snake game, but you were one of the apples. Uh, and like we tried a few other ideas, but I think this was like the most fun one, the
Mm-hmm.
most interesting one.
Gotcha. And then, um, can you talk a little bit about the actual development process of the game?
Oh, so we made the game in less than 30 hours because I spent the first 10 hours just making a completely different game.
Huh.
And when I felt like it was not interesting at all, not fun, I just decided to scrap it and go with the snake idea.
So, um, what was it about the other idea that wasn't coming together, that wasn't working?
Uh, it was the idea was you were interacting with like everyday objects, like I don't know, a light switch, a oven, but like the function was reversed, and it was like a dialogue heavy game. But it really wasn't fun. Like you just saw that, you like clicked on the light switch, it changed the sun to moon, for example, instead of the light on the ceiling. And I mean, like doing that every time wasn't really fun. So yeah,
I see. So it was like kind of a surreal, amusing sort of thing, but not necessarily a. It didn't feel like it had the legs to be a full experience. Is that what you mean?
yeah.
I'm gonna try coming at this jump from a different angle. Maybe I'm supposed to jump from up here. Oh, okay. First person platforming is so hard. Why?
Yeah, I feel like I should have like added coyote time, but I didn't really have time. So
Okay, there we go. It's mostly just a matter of the jumps are so far apart that I am like holding forward with all my might to make sure that I land the jump, and then I end up like overshooting the platform slightly.
oh yeah.
So have you made a like first person platformer like this before?
No, actually. I think the first person camera like experience comes from just making a simple prototype like before the jam. Um, but platforming I haven't really done in 3D, so this is my first time.
So what was the experience like of building out a like first person 3D platformer like this?
Uh, it was pretty simple. I think the making the platforms with Godot's tools was pretty simple, but I just had to make uh, levels, which is it's level design, and I'm not good at it. So yeah.
So
But
the
in other like in other areas, it was fine.
so the level geometry is actually like built inside of Godot,
Yeah.
just using like 3D primitives and stuff.
Yeah, it has a special tool called CSG, and it combines shapes. It's not like, yeah, you just use primitives, and it builds collision on that.
Ooh, is that the final level? It said enough.
Yeah, it is. It's really difficult. I had only an hour to make the last level, so it's completely unbalanced.
Okay, we were supposed to kill the snake, but I don't know how.
This green spikes actually damage the snake,
Okay, so
so
we
you
leave
see
the
the
snake.
particles there?
Okay. I
Yeah.
sort of understand the idea is like you're trying to tempt the snake to collide with spikes.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh my goodness. Well, I dropped that apple, so oops.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that I didn't really have time, because I feel like this could have been much better.
I mean, I guess it's just a question of like how many hit points does the snake have, and how many spikes do I need to leave it into.
The hit points are like how many apples the snake eats in the start of the level.
Okay.
So it's around 6, I think. But the apples you throw also do heal it, so you have to throw like every apple almost perfectly
Oh
for
boy.
it to die.
Okay. Well, I'll give it my best attempt, and oh, well, interesting. Okay. I guess I wasn't supposed to win. I have failed. I see. Snake is pleased, therefore I have
Nah,
failed.
yeah,
The cycle will never end.
yeah. I
Okay.
had to make it like sort of creepy, but it's I don't know. It's not really creepy. It's kind of creepy.
So what's actually driving the snake's pathfinding? Like, is it like a built-in Godot pathfinding, or?
Yeah, it is built in. I had to set it up and like tweak it and do a bunch of other stuff, but uh, yeah, it's built in.
Okay, nice. And then, do you are you dynamically like punching a hole in the level geometry? Because it seems like the snake just wherever it is when it finishes the level, it just like goes through the floor.
Yeah, that's actually a feature of CSG.
Cool. Okay, so the is it kind of like a marching squares thing where like the geometry just kind of like forms out of like 3D tiles?
No, no, no. It's primitives, but you can add and subtract and find the difference. I think those
Okay.
three.
Yeah, it's like an exclusion operator.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I sort of understand. That's it's nifty that that's a built-in feature and you can use it for this kind of like tunneling into the ground no matter where the snake is.
Yeah, it's really convenient.
Okay, but I do appreciate that try again puts you back on the final level here so that you can give it another attempt. I will.
Oh, yeah, it would have been really bad if it put you all the way back to the first level.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay. I think that. Well, okay. I can just. I'll just do a quick restart like that. I think the only issue actually is that the player does collide with the apples, and it means that sometimes you have to sort of like jump and try to grab the apple so you don't bump into it when you hit the ground.
Ah, yeah, I can see that.
Let's try and. Okay, I don't think that was successful because that was just a net. Okay, let's try putting the apple in the middle of these three spikes here. Okay, that was down by one. So, do you have any thoughts of making like a post-gen version of the game?
I had some ideas, but it takes time to make a full-fledged game,
Of
so
course.
maybe in the future.
Is there any ideas that you'd want to explore? Um, Things that you couldn't get into the game as it exists in this current version that you'd like to add, if possible?
Oh, not really. I feel like this game is uh like I added all the ideas I wanted from the original, like the Nokia game.
Yeah, I guess the sort of core concept of just trying to like avoid the snake as it moves around the environment, trying to like feed it without getting eaten. You know, I think that there was like one level that featured a ramp where it felt like the snake could get you, but most of the time you're kind of up on a high place where it's not very likely for the snake to be like chasing you actively.
Hmm.
I guess what I'm getting at is I think it would have been neat if there were more levels that put the player like in active danger of getting caught by the snake.
Oh, yeah. Well, I had to balance it so that it didn't feel like extremely difficult, but also didn't feel like creepy all the time that you had to run from the snake.
Right.
Yeah.
Darn, man, it's this last level is very difficult, but I'll do my best. Um,
Yeah.
so what I think I don't know if it's really something I ever had to do in the game either, but like the idea of picking up an apple and then throwing it somewhere to temporarily lead the snake away from you while you run past it to get to another apple is also something I would have loved to see a bit more.
Hmm. Yeah. Interesting.
Because it feels like you have the opportunity to kind of like direct the snake's attention, but most of the time you only essentially as long as you platform very well and stay up on a high place, you're kind of just good, and you don't really need to worry about the snake. And I think that the game is sort of at its most interesting when the snake is coming for you and you're like panicking and trying to get back up on a high slope.
Okay. Nice observation.
Just because it's not quite that the floor is lava, it's that there is something actively trying to chase you down, and like maybe you have the opportunity to outrun it, or maybe you have the opportunity to yeah, just sort of distract it. We got Snake is pleased ending again.
Oh, that was close.
Well, as I said, I'll keep trying. But yeah, so what would you say is the most difficult problem that you encountered during the jam, and what was your solution?
Let me think. I think it might have actually been displaying the snake's tail.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't actually remember how I implemented it. I think it's using... it's using the path tool. Like it builds a path using global points, like in the world, to build the tail. And it extends the tail when eating an apple. I had trouble implementing it because I had to convert local points to global points, like from the snake's local point of view to the world points.
Got it. And yeah, because again, like you're using a sort of a built-in feature of Godot for rendering the geometry of the snake's tail. And is that just like not designed to be in 3D coordinate space, or is it? What was the? I don't know. I'm just trying to get a better understanding of what the issue was.
Do you want me to repeat or like explain in a different way?
I guess the.
You were close there, actually.
Yeah, I know. I kicked over an apple at one point without grabbing it, and it was like, ah. Yeah, I think for this might be one of the things that if you were to do a post-gen version, it'd be nice to have either a hint of like some sort of level design hint of like where to throw the apple to redirect the snake into it. Even if there was some sort of path that you as the player had to like run around and try to get the snake to follow you into spikes, that would be neat.
Oh, okay.
Just I sort of feel like it could be one or the other in terms of either you can be really careful with where you toss the apples to like perfectly get the snake to kill itself, or you can like parkour your way over the spikes and just do your best to outrun the snake as you lead it into spikes.
Yeah, that could actually be interesting.
Just so that could still be like a little bit of a puzzle. I don't think that was a particularly great start. Yeah, so It's Both is asking for the same sort of clarification as I was hoping, was just that Unity actually has a toggle to switch line renderers between global or local space, but Godot, like, you had to sort of do that translation yourself, effectively?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, like the path tool is in local space, and you had to convert the points from global to local. At least that's how I remember it.
Gotcha. By the way, does the snake necessarily have to hit every spike?
No, you can miss one or two or three,
goodness.
maybe.
Okay, Okay, so it's a pretty slim margin. You just gotta hope and do your best. This is where knowing its pathfinding algorithm would really help, because... Oh my god, okay. Just nearly kicked the apple off again. Alright, we've got one spike over here and one spike over there, so I'm hoping that this is the one. So it's coming from over there, and I think if I throw it to the far side, like that... Snake... Oh no, you... Wait, I think I only missed one spike.
Oh, oh, interesting, huh?
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I guess I have to do better then.
Okay, that's a really high skill floor.
No, I know that that's not necessarily your intent, but it's a game jam, right? So,
Yeah.
were there any other issues that you ran into during the development? Like anything else that you needed to, like, because I saw that when I downloaded the game, this was like exe number 2 or something, versus Snake 2.exe. So what was version 1?
Huh. I don't remember. I feel like I added a few more options to the main menu, and I think I fixed some bug in the final level. I don't necessarily remember which bug, but yeah.
We've got some Dark Souls level difficulty comments.
Yeah.
I don't know, Dark Souls, you don't necessarily have to play perfectly. You have Estus flasks for a reason.
You only have apples here.
Yep. And not one to spare. Anyway, like I will keep trying my best, but I think sometimes whether you succeed or fail can come down to the path that the snake takes. Like, do you know exactly where to toss them so that the snake will always get killed, or is this difficult for you as well?
I mean, I don't really have an exact place, but I'd suggest in the first apple you take, you like get all the 3 spikes,
Right.
and the other ones are just 2 spikes. So, oh, I also used I threw, like, in the middle of throwing one apple at 2 spikes, I threw another apple in a different direction so that it caught all the spikes, like all the 5 in one place.
Oh my goodness. I can't... Can you... How like, are there like 2 apples that are close enough that you can... I guess you sort of, like, lead it to the sort of distant point and then... Huh.
And then throw the second apple right after.
Yeah, no, oh no, I got it. Oh, no. Wow, because it seems like it moves and then turns back so fast. I don't know how I would actually, like, oh, that was completely Phil. Okay, so it is possible if you're close but not necessarily going to succeed to use the snake to have the snake chase you into a spike. But I don't feel like that's necessarily the best way to succeed. So throwing this here... No, that's not good. Alright. I don't know if I'm going to get through this one necessarily, but yeah. Do you have any other projects that you are working on that you would like people to take a look at?
Not really. I don't really have any long-term projects. I only do game jams.
Okay. Well, do you have any other game jams from like previous years you'd like people to take a look at?
I'd say cats that steal stuff and gets in trouble. I feel like this is the our group's favorite game.
I like the very long title. I'll go ahead and drop a link to that. Cheers, Dr. Tronic. Yeah, and do you have any social media pages you'd like people to take a look at, or just your itch.io profile?
I do have a YouTube, but I don't use it and I don't post anything there, so I guess just itch.
Okay, that's all right. If anyone has any questions that they would like to ask, now would be the time. And I will keep trying this final boss. We've still got a few minutes left in the interview, but yeah, I guess. So, which game jams have you participated in other than GMTK?
As I've said, Ludum Dare, and mm, it's just Ludum Dare, I think, and GMTK.
Oh, this is interesting. I landed on the ground. Oh, there's the snake. Okay. Yeah, so you.
I see.
So Ludum Dare is now up to 3 times a year. Do you participate all 3 times, or?
Yeah. I'm trying to at least.
And then, like, are you? It's so annoying to kick the apples off. Is there a reason that you can push them?
I mean, not really. It's just because the player and the apple are on the same collision layer, so they
Right.
collide because of that.
Yeah, I mean, if they're if it's a simple fix to remove that. Okay. Thankfully, it is possible to like bonk the apple and then still grab it out of midair. Oh, you can even like throw it and then immediately catch it. That's interesting.
Yeah. It's not really useful, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting if you did some sort of like redirect. That actually, hang on. I'm gonna experiment with this. I'm gonna see if I can. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to see what would happen if I like tossed the snake, to toss the apple at the last second as the snake was bearing down on me, if it would redirect. But is the snake's priority to chase the player or the apple?
So if the player is in proximity, like on the floor, then it's the player either way. But if it's only the apple, then it chooses the apple. If it's both the player and the apple, then it chooses the player.
I see. Yeah, so it seems like at best I can get the snake to go through 2 spikes if I'm like right between them. But yeah, most of the time it really just comes down to this very first throw, and I can't seem to get it. It's just a lot of spikes to get the snake to go through. So. Oh man. Okay. Well, I think we'll call it there on that last unsuccessful attempt.
Okay.
But thank you so much for joining me on the stream here today. Yeah, we still have a little bit of time. Like, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about the game? I feel like we covered most of the normal questions I ask, but
I do have to say, I remember another big issue with developing the game is developing the pathfinding. It was really difficult because like you had to prioritize the player, but only if it's like on the floor and if there are no apples there and all that stuff.
right. Oh. That was such an unfortunate throw. You'll see in a moment.
Yeah. And the musician who made the game, my friend, also made the sounds. He's like a professional at this, so I think it really enhances the experience.
Oh, absolutely. The sort of creepy music complements the experience really well in terms of like the way that the snakes sort of sound, that really sort of unsettling sound that you hear every time it gets near you. It gives you a great sense of position as it's like just sort of bearing down on you. Anyway, I'm giving this one more attempt, but oh no. Okay, catch the apple. Don't drop it. Okay, there's 2 spikes over there, and then there's 1 spike over here.
Okay.
I should be able to toss it on the far side of this 1 spike here. Okay, so wait, grabbed it. Oh, but that's just a net 0 though. That shouldn't make a difference.
Yeah, actually does nothing.
3 spikes over here. Darn. Okay, I should have tried to. Oh, and this is the lowest pillar, so I can't get over there. That's why I start. Okay, let's try. Whoop.
I think there's a way you can throw the apple to hit all the 3 spikes.
Well, I'm actually just gonna try and pull it. Ah, no.
Oh darn. Okay.
Well, that was the closest I'm getting. I think we'll just have to. Time to use yourself as bait. Well, I tried Dr. Tronic. It didn't exactly work super well, but I don't know. I guess I'm inspired to keep trying just because I got so close. But oh no. Okay. All right. How many people would you say actually like succeeded on this final level?
That's a good question. Me and I think that's it.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe someone else who downloaded the game, but I don't know.
You didn't,
oh right.
You didn't see anybody in the comments saying that they succeeded at it?
Yeah, I didn't. I think it's just that difficult.
Damn it! I was doing it so well this time, and then I dropped the dang apple.
Right, I wanted to say,
yeah.
This is my first time. This is our first time, like, being seen by anyone. Like, in the video, for example. We're in top 20, so, when I checked the video, I was like, I almost didn't watch it because I thought we wouldn't get there in the top 20, but I was very surprised when I saw us there.
Yeah, I mean, it's I really have to wonder, did Mark himself actually beat the game, or did he just get this far and say, oh, that seems cool?
Judging by the footage, I think not.
Oh man, the precision that you have to throw the apple is incredible. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got it in me to do another attempt. Not the least of which that some of these first-person games can be a little nauseating, but I really wish I could have gotten a win towards the end there, because it sounds like I would have been one of very few people. Like, I'm curious now, if I click on the I'm just sort of scrolling through the comments here to see, wow, that last level is hard. There's me asking if you're up for the interview. Final boss is extremely hard. Is it possible to beat it, or is the cycle never end? It is possible, just very hard, yes.
Yeah. I don't really have anything to say. I think I could have adjusted the game for the post-jam version to make it less difficult.
Well, I mean, I think that you know, there's a couple of options for how you can make it easier, like because right now, how much? What's the snake's movement speed relative to the player's movement speed?
Maybe 1.5 times faster, 2 times faster.
Yeah, so it's.
I think it's variable.
Oh, okay. So it's not necessarily possible to outrun the snake.
Yeah, it's only possible in the other levels. In this one, I adjusted it.
Oh, okay, I see. Because I do think that making it not quite so dependent on the, like, having to play perfectly would be nice, but having a mix of using apples mostly to injure the snake, and then when it's low on health, using that as the opportunity to, like, have it chase you into the last one. Oh, for goodness sake.
Yeah, that could also be good.
I mean, very risky, obviously, but Yeah, I mean, I think there's room to play with the concept. You know, I can't even pick up the apple anymore. That's where I'm at. I think it's a
Oh
pretty
damn.
clear indication that I should stop. Um, if maybe like one tiny extra detail. Well, okay. First and foremost, if you make a post-gen version of the game, just turning off the collisions with the apples would help immensely. Um,
Okay.
Second to that, uh, making it so that you have a clear, like the apple, if it has like an outline that appears when it's within the sort of like click to pick up range,
Yeah, yeah.
it,
Also.
it could help, but largely it shouldn't be necessary. Like it would help because then otherwise you don't know how close you need to be to the apple in order to pick it up. Um, Even
Mhm.
just touching the apple automatically picks it up. That could work as well. Um, and then other than that, um, if you wanted to start getting in, sorry, and then the last thing that would be an easy change would be modifying the snake's health, uh, or even just the
Yeah.
placement of the spikes, like just something that makes this last level a little more like I still want it to be challenging, but just it right now it feels like a little up to luck because there's such a large possibility space of where you can toss the apple. Like if you think about the fact that you can literally aim 360 degrees and you have the freedom of looking up. Like there's a massive variety of potential places where you could toss the apple and have it land. And it seems like there's a very small range of possibility where the snake will be killed if it lands. So yeah,
Oh, yeah.
something to tweak that. Even if you make the iteration time a little bit faster, um, now we're starting to move into changes that take a little bit more effort. But making the platforms just a little bit bigger so that they like it's not. Actually, I can't think of a time that I have fallen necessarily. Most of the time, I'm just knocking the apples over. But I'm generally a fan of platforms that are at least twice the sort of player's size. So if each platform, for example, was a like full grid square, because right now it seems like they are maybe like 3/4 of one or 50% of one.
Uh, More like 50%, yeah.
Right. So yeah, and then as I said, moving into changes that would be neat but a little more difficult to implement would be actually tweaking the level design so that the there are more instances where you need to like throw an apple to redirect the snake so that you can go and grab the last apple and then feed it, or otherwise just opportunities where you are on the same playing field as the snake needing to outrun it. Those would be very like heart pumping action kind of like because you're running away from something in
Yeah.
first person. You can't tell when it's bearing down on you, other than the sound effect, which is itself very creepy and a good way of sort of noticing like how close it is to you. So yeah, it would make the game like it's already creepy. It would make the game that much more tense if there were these moments where you just have to like panic and run for it. But
Yep.
as I said, those are definitely like much more time consuming changes to make. There's at least a few there that could be pretty quick to implement and would add a nice level of polish if you found it worthwhile. But yeah, I think that's everything I have to give in terms of feedback and otherwise. Pizzart, thank you so much for joining me on the stream and talking about the game.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, if you do have another game jam that you participate in, future Ludum Dare, I know that there's one not too far from now. It's October or something like that.
Uh, yeah, like 3 weeks.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, if you end up participating in that and you have another game you'd like to share on the stream, I'd be happy to take a look at it.
Okay.
All right. Well, I know it's quite late where you are right now, so thank you so much for making the time. And yeah,
No,
hope you
no
can rest well
problem.
when you get there.
Okay.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye.